National Grand Bank has been Marblehead's community bank for 180 years and is proud to support MHS Sports on MHTV. Together, we make things happen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to MHS Sports on MHTV. I'm Chris Connolly, along with Jess Burton, and today we're at Seaside Park as the Magicians baseball team takes on the Winthrop Vikings. We'd like to thank the National Grand Bank for being our community partner in bringing you MHS Sports on MHTV. Well, out on the mound for Marblehead right now, starting pitcher is Garrett Keogh. 3-1 in the season. He had a complete game earlier this year, and that was against Winthrop in a 12-3 victory. Marblehead comes into the contest at 7-7, 8-11 overall. They need 2 more wins, and they've got 2 more games. This one and another one tomorrow against Gloucester. They face the Vikings today. The Vikings come in at 7-12, and Keogh's about to deliver his first pitch. Strike one delivered to leadoff batter for the Vikings. That's Mike Rich, the third baseman, number 2. Field's in pretty good condition. Swing and fouled off to the side. 0-2. And pretty good conditions for a ball game today. Wind looks like it's blowing left to right as we look at the flag out there in straightaway center field. And it's gusty. Keogh delivers the 0-2 up high. Marblehead last made the tournament in 2012, 3 years ago. Last year they missed making it by 1 game, and they'd like to make it again this year. Swing and a miss goes down as Keogh gets him trying to get the outside and away pitch for the strikeout. 1 down, and it's Dylan Driscoll.
Nice couple of pitches there. Nice at bat, being real dominant on the mound. Keogh was on the first 2, using both sides of the plate, making the batter look kind of silly there with the strikeout. Look out.
Ball 1 to Driscoll. Keogh, according to the coaching staff, has the standard 3-pitch arsenal. Fastball, curveball, and a change. This is up, bounced high to Keogh. Underhands it to Spencer Carr at first. 2 down. And let's take a look at the lineup for Marblehead. Around the infield at third, Tom Rocket. Shortstop is Drew Galley. The second baseman is Tom Kalinowski. Spencer Carr is at first. Keogh on the mound. Harrison Engstrom behind the plate. Drew Bresnia. Is that the way you say it?
Basania? Drew Basania?
Basania is close. Is in left. Jeff Stern in center, and James McCarthy in right. This also bounced right back to Keogh. Nice glove by the pitcher. 1-2-3 first as it goes 1-3 as Zach Fisher is retired. They're a half an inning. No score, Marblehead coming up. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Leading it off for Marblehead in the number 1 spot in the order, James McCarthy, sophomore right fielder. Bats from the left side. And he's facing Jack Wallace.
McCarthy's got good speed, so if he gets on early in the game here, we'll see if Marblehead's aggressive on the base path.
Strike 1 to McCarthy. Matt Feely behind the plate. Strike 2. Mike Rich at third, Dylan Driscoll at short, Robert Fisher at second, Luigi Spinazzola is at first. I'll give you the outfield in a moment.
McCarthy's got to be aggressive here. 2 strikes.
Down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zach Fisher in left, David Kirby in center, and Tom DeBenedetto in right. 7-12 Winthrop Vikings. Two and two now to McCarthy. Rocket on deck, and Spencer Carr due up after Rocket in the third spot. Wallace delivers. High, 3-2 now, full count.
It's a nice at bat by McCarthy, getting behind and then working the count full.
Lots of room in left center and right center. This one's carved foul, out of play behind the Winthrop bench. Winthrop's coach is Frank DeMarco. They were a little bit harried as they got here a little bit late and had to get things in order quickly. And that one also fouled away behind the Winthrop bench. I can imagine coming up from Winthrop to here. I mean, that is terrible traffic.
Yeah, through Revere and on the Linway. It does take almost an hour to get here after school sometimes.
So base on balls for McCarthy to start it off, and that brings up Tom Rocket, third baseman, sophomore. And he'll bat with nobody out and a runner at first.
Like I said, we'll see if McCarthy looks to steal here early on.
A three-step lead. Wallace not looking from the mound. This one's strike one to Rocket. See if the pitcher looks over his shoulder to see what McCarthy's doing over there at first base. A little bit longer this time, about 4 steps for McCarthy at first.
Still hasn't even glanced.
There he goes.
There it is.
Quickly back.
Maybe trying to fool him.
Make him feel comfortable, I guess, that he's not paying attention.
Yeah, make him feel forgotten about. He doesn't want to get that lead too deep because we have a right-handed batter up. It's an easy throw from the catcher to first base.
Low and away. 1-1 now, I think. What happened to your finger there, Jess?
Oh, sprained it playing basketball last night.
It's not hard to do.
I think it's maybe the only one I haven't done yet.
This one's a bunt try, and it's up over the grandstand roof and out of play. I think it'll be 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fresh supply of baseballs. Wallace gets the sign from home plate umpire Rene Gaumont. Evens at 2-2. First inning, no score. Beautiful late May day at Seaside Park here in Marblehead. 2-2 delivery inside. Did it hit him or was it ball 4? I guess it hit him. It did hit him.
Couldn't really tell from here, but by everybody's reaction, now the Winthrop coach is going to come out and ask.
Hit by a pitch. Nicked his elbow, he's saying. The front elbow as the right-handed batter stood in there. So runners at first and second, nobody out. Spencer Carr, a first baseman, comes to the plate. And get down to the final 2 games of the regular season, and players, I'm sure they didn't need it, but before the game they were huddled and reminded by one of the coaches that we need 2 games, guys. Carr's swing and a connection off into foul territory over on the left side. And they're coming out here in the bottom of the first inning, and seems like they're determined.
Yeah, they're up at the plate, swinging away. They know they need to get runners on base, and Spencer Carr is a guy that you want at the plate. He has kept Marblehead's season alive. He was the hero on Monday in a Salem 4-3 win. He hit a walk-off single to win the game for Marblehead here at home.
1 ball, 2 strikes now to Carr. Prior to that game against St. John's, though, they were on a 4-game losing streak, which is tough.
Yeah, it's put them in this position, the deep hole that they need to get themselves out of.
That's strike three, yeah.
Yeah, strike three. Had 3 to play. They got to win all 3. And what's hurt Marblehead is they've lost a lot of winnable games earlier in the year, or they lost a lot of winnable games earlier in the year to these teams. Not Winthrop necessarily, but Saugus, Classical English. Those are games that they should have got, that they didn't.
Batter is Drew Basenia, left fielder. No, wait, yeah, Drew Basenia, left fielder. He's up with 2 men on, 1 out. Single should score a run.
We hope. McCarthy's got good speed at second. Put it anywhere in the gap, he should get around. Basenia's moved up in the order. He wasn't hitting 4th earlier in the year. He's been hitting great lately. 3 for 3 the other night.
Off the screen at the grandstand.
He's got a nice solid cut. Swings right through, chopping a tree down, keeps his head in.
Good baseball talk, Jess. Chopping a tree. I like that.
That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to swing. Right through it.
It's very, very, very descriptive. This one's fouled away into the tennis court back on the right side of the field here, as you look at the field. Wallace looks at second. He's going to go. It's not in time. Ball pops out of the shortstop's hand. That's Dylan Driscoll. I don't think even if it hadn't popped out, the sign was already given that he was safe. McCarthy beat the throw.
Umpire made up his mind pretty quick.
It looked like the right call to me, but
yeah,
I mean, it's hard to tell from this distance. There goes McCarthy. This one's carved out into right field and foul. Both of the runners were off. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 on, no score, first inning.
So that was a double steal. They had the double steal hit and run on there.
Again, off the grandstand, just at the edge of it. So Basenia's getting his swings. He's got to put one into play. A lot of room out there. This one's nubbed. The pitcher's going to come off the mound. He bobbles it. It looks like everyone's going to be safe, and they are. Bases loaded. A difficult one to play for the pitcher. I don't know if we're going to give him an error, or I'd say it's a hit.
It took a weird hop. Went right over his glove, but it wasn't hit very hard. I think he didn't square himself towards it either. He tried to backhand it, and that could have hurt him. Because squared himself probably would have hit him and knocked it down.
So the batter now is Tassinari, Josh Tassinari, designated hitter, a junior. Comes to the plate with 1 out and the base is loaded. Chance to do some real damage here in the first inning for Marblehead.
You know, I like the stirrups. Tassinari looking like old Mo Vaughn at the plate here.
Up over the grandstand.
That one might sting a little bit. Catcher took that one right off the face.
Yeah.
Tassinari says, "You all right?" Yep. Head nod. Yep.
So the umpire decides to clean home plate, give the catcher Matt Feely a few seconds to make sure his head's clear. And notice that the umpire looked at the catcher and probably spoke to him there and said, "You okay?" So now we're back to play. Looks at a strike.
Using the outside corner there is a nice pitch.
1-2, I think. In the dirt, run's going to come in, and the runners are going to move up.
Scored easily on that. 1-0, Magicians.
On the wild pitch. Runners now at second and third. 1 out. Tassinari.
McCarthy just kind of trotted home.
Yeah, it was well out of the. I don't think the catcher was even going to get to the ball before McCarthy would score, and he saw that. Down low. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count, 1 out. Runners at second and third. Jack Wallace delivers. This one's hit on the ground to the second baseman. Fields it cleanly over to first, but he knocks in a run. Tom Rocket scores from third.
I don't know if you're the Winthrop coach. I know it's early, but 3-2, first base open. You might want to put him on there since you know he's a power hitter. That saves that run for Winthrop. And then you get first and second, double play opportunity. I know it's early, but you got to think strategy at all times, even when you're not in playoff contention anymore.
Batter is the catcher, Harrison Engstrom, a senior. Stands in close to the plate. Got a piece of it, and it's strike 1. Pesena is at third. 2 down, 2 in. This one's hit to the second baseman on the big hop. Fields it cleanly. Over to first, and that'll do it. But 2 runs for Marblehead here in the first. And at the end of 1, it's Marblehead 2, Winthrop nothing.
What do you want to do after dinner?
Oh, I don't know. I go to a party.
Yeah, I think it's Tommy's birthday tonight. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you should text him.
Oh, yeah.
He's having a party.
All right.
Yeah.
In 2012, 3,328 people were killed in distraction-related crashes. Don't waste a second chance. The preceding message was produced by the Marblehead School Department in conjunction with the Marblehead Police Department.
Top of the second coming your way here on MHTV. Chris Connolly along with Jess Burton. 2-0 Marblehead. Got a base on balls and a hit batsman and a single. And then a couple of a ground out brought in a run. A wild pitch brought in a run. Jack Wallace, the pitcher for Winthrop, stands in as the number 4 batter. Takes strike 1. He'll be followed by Chris Zufanti, the designated hitter, and David Kirby, the center fielder for Winthrop. Garrett Keogh on the mound for Marblehead. Hit on the ground. Fair ball past the third baseman and heading for second. Strong throw, a little bit too strong. It's going to get past. And Wallace stays put with a double.
Really lucky he stayed put there because that went almost to the basketball court, and that is a long throw to third base. He probably would have been there standing.
That was a very strong throw by Pesena out in left field.
Throws like he hits.
So Wallace is at second with nobody out. Zufanti now, the designated hitter, who is batting in the 5 hole. Ball 1 to Zufanti.
I think Tommy Rocket at third base kind of got stuck in the mud over there, too. Not much mud, pretty dry, but he was stuck. He didn't react great to the ball hit his way.
Yeah, not room between him and the bag, but it got in between there for a fair ball. This one's hit over the second baseman. Could play to run. Zufanti rounds first, and Wallace rounds third, heads for the plate with Winthrop's first run and an RBI for Zufanti.
Yeah, he scored easily there. Center fielder bobbled the ball a little bit too, but he was already a few steps from home. Wouldn't have had a play anyway. Winthrop much more aggressive here, top of the second, than they were the top of the first. Maybe they've woken up a little bit.
2-1 now. The batter for Winthrop is David Kirby. Nobody out. 1 run in. Holds back on the swing for ball 1. So Zavanti at first, and the center fielder Kirby at the plate. Big kid.
I was going to say, Kirby looks like he stands about 6'3", 6'4", because Engstrom is up there, and when he stands up, he's shorter than the batter. So looks like he's got some size on him, and he wears no batting gloves. Another old-school ball player look.
Swings and bounces it to the third baseman. Now shortstop picks it up, goes to second, gets the lead runner. Nice play by Drew Galley. As Rocket came across but couldn't get the ball, Galley picked it up and fired to Kalinowski at second. So it goes 6-4. And a fielder's choice that puts Kirby on base.
That's all right. Coach Tarasuk will be happy with that. You get the lead runner. That's what do you want to do in those situations if you can't get both?
There goes the runner. The throw comes to second base. It's a little bit behind the runner. And Kirby's at second with a stolen base.
Harrison Engstrom's not happy with himself on that throw, nor should he be. We saw him almost take his pitcher's head off with a rifle down there right before they started the top of the second inning. It was a really good throw. He's usually better than that.
The Winthrop catcher, Matt Feely at the plate. This one's bounced. Keogh handles it off the mound. Underhands to Carr. Second out.
Keogh's a pretty good fielding catcher. He's made 3 nice plays now. They're pretty routine, but to make nice, accurate lobs or throws over to first is probably the hardest part about it, and he seems to be calm once he collects.
Yeah, he's good off the mound, and I think that's his third
assist.
Third chance here today, and he's handled them all well. On the play, Kirby moved over to third, and the batter is Luigi Spinazzola, the first baseman. 2 down. Tying run at third for Winthrop right here in the top of the second inning. A little bit behind it as Keogh got out in front of him, as Spinazzola could not catch up to it.
Yeah, that was some heat from Keogh.
1-1. Up and away, 2 balls, 1 strike to Spinazzola.
Put it where Engstrom wanted it. They wanted him to chase, and he didn't. Set up way outside.
Ball gets away from Engstrom. I think it was in the dirt before he had a chance as a wild pitch, and that'll score a run.
Now they maybe regret trying to get him to chase.
So it's tied at 2. So both teams get a run from a wild pitch.
Marblehead has struggled with errors and wild pitches all season long. Could be, their Achilles heel as it comes down the stretch here. They really need to stay calm and win the inning as they've been trying to do all year long.
Called out on strikes, but not before. 2-run score from Winthrop, and it's 2-2 through 1.5. Bottom of the second inning coming up. It's Kalinowski, Galley, and Stern do it for Marblehead. Tied at 2. 1 hit last inning, a double for Winthrop. That started things off, and then a wild pitch brought one in. Kalinowski looks at a strike. Jack Wallace on the mound for the Winthrop Vikings. Third baseman a few steps in on the grass. This one's hit into left field. Bounces in front of the left fielder. Couldn't get there in time, and Kalinowski's on with a strong signal to left.
Yeah, that was misplayed by the left fielder. Took too many steps to his left, not enough steps in, and the ball dropped right in front of him. Kalinowski, one of a few left-handed batters in the Marblehead lineup, able to take advantage of the righty-lefty matchup at the plate and knock it the other way.
He did a good job of it that time. It's not an easy thing to do. Again, the left-handed batter for Marblehead is Drew Galley. Throw over to first, not in time. Kalinowski in under the tag. Galley, a sophomore shortstop, left-handed batter. Third baseman in 2 steps onto the grass. First baseman holding the runner. This one's put on the ground in a bunt. Third baseman charges in, makes the throw to first. On to third goes the runner, and is he going to get there in time? He does not. Aggressive running by Kalinowski, and a bad throw allows him to score on the stolen base.
Wow. He wasn't on the bags long, huh?
No.
I mean, he was going to third as soon as the bunt was laid. He wasn't stopping a second. He rounded like it was hitting the outfield.
So the bunt went down. The third baseman had to come in and charge in and field it. It was out enough so the catcher had no chance at it. The third baseman had to come running in. And Kalinowski was all the way around. He wasn't stopping at second even for a moment. And it forced a throw from first, and it was high. And went into the foul territory out there in left field. And that allowed Kalinowski to come around with a lead run now, 3-2, Marblehead. And the batter's Jeff Stern, junior center fielder, comes to the plate with the bases empty and 1 out.
That was a heck of a bunt by Drew Galley. Put it right.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't too far and it wasn't too close. It was just in that right sweet spot where it was difficult for any of the defenders to get it. A nice defensive play, though, by the third baseman, Mike Rich.
Yeah, it was, and then he made a great throw to first.
Very good. But the first baseman's throw, that's Spinazzola. His throw is high. Down low for a ball. Two balls, 1 strike. Hard to see. He holds.
Believe so.
He puts this the count up right in front of himself. No, I guess it was 2 strikes.
1-2.
Yep. Second strikeout for Wallace. 2 down. Back to the top of the order. It's James McCarthy. He walked and scored on a wild pitch in the first inning.
So Marblehead goes lefty, lefty, righty, lefty. Bottom 3 and leadoff men. That's where they store him.
Wallace picks up a strike on the outside corner to the left-handed batter, McCarthy. Wallace working with 2 outs, steps off the rubber momentarily. Now he's ready. McCarthy pops this one up. The catcher, Feely, right behind the plate, and cannot find it quick enough. And it bounces harmlessly outside the batter's box on the left side. And another life for McCarthy.
It's a tough play, but that one was straight up. I don't think he got any help from anybody. Pitcher, nobody pointed it out. He was on his own there. Couldn't make the play.
Hit sharply to the third baseman. Bobbles it momentarily, fires across a little bit off the mark, and McCarthy's safe at first.
That was ripped.
Hard shot. We'll call it a single.
Yeah, hit the third baseman on a hop right in the letters. Was a good play to get in front of it, sacrifice himself, but I think he was a little stunned and came up slow.
Tom Rocket now, the sophomore third baseman, hit by a pitch in the first inning, just off the front elbow, and then scored. McCarthy back to first. 3-2 ball game. Marblehead up by a run. As Kalinowski led off with a single, and then went to second on a bunt. All the way right, just kept running to third. A bad throw. An E3 allowed him to score. So it's Rocket with McCarthy at first, Wallace on the mound. Tag to the top of the head, back easily.
Pitcher's move's not quick to first. It's not bad, but it's not fast.
4-step lead for McCarthy. Wallace delivers inside. Feely stops it. There goes McCarthy. He's going to make it.
Catcher again having trouble locating the ball. This time, this one's on the ground.
A good heads-up play by McCarthy, though, to notice that the ball was out of his hand and he didn't really know exactly where it was momentarily. He got it quickly, but not quick enough, as McCarthy was already halfway, and maybe a little bit more than halfway before Feely found the ball. And just he didn't even make a throw because he knew there's no chance. This one's fouled into the far tennis court as Rocket.
But back to McCarthy, that was a good secondary lead so that he could advance to second there. If he doesn't take those couple extra steps once the ball crosses home, he's not going to go anywhere.
Another foul into the tennis courts by Tom Rocket.
And you don't want to get caught so deep that the catcher finds that ball and can throw to first before you get back.
4 steps off of second base. This one's hit on the ground towards the shortstop. Third baseman comes across, fields it, fires in the dirt, but nice pickup by the first baseman, Spinazzola, and that'll be the end of the second inning. At the end of 2, it's Marblehead 3 and Winthrop 2. We'd like to thank the National Grand Bank for being our community partner and bringing you MHS Sports on MHTV.
I met him in the beginning of my sophomore year. We've been talking every day online for 2 years, up until my senior year. He was a really nice guy, always checked in on me to see how I was doing. He made me feel like someone cared, like I wasn't alone. It started off as a friendship, and then I fell for him. I knew I had never met him before, but it was the most real thing I had ever felt. I thought I was in love with him. I began to lose interest in school and friends. By the end of my senior year, he was the only one I had talked to. I waited and waited for him to ask me to meet up. It was the one thing that would finally make things real. He finally did. And I was blinded by him. I couldn't help it.
The preceding message was produced by the Marblehead School Department in conjunction with the Marblehead Police Department.
Top of the third inning, 3-2 Marblehead. Winthrop at the plate. Off the glove of Garrett Keogh. Kalinowski comes in, picks it up, fires to first, retires Robert Fisher. 4-3 for the first out.
Keogh's getting a lot of action off the mound today. That one not as clean. He wasn't as quick off, but it's all right. Kalinowski was right there. Deflected it right to him. Pretty routine for Timmy at second base.
Yeah, he had the 3 that he was able to get into his glove. He made nice plays on. That one's just out of his reach. It's Mike Rich now, struck out swinging in the first inning. Looks at strike 1 from Keogh. Keogh, last time against Winthrop, he pitched a complete game. It was early in the season.
Pitched very well. 12-3 Marblehead victory, I believe.
Yep. Dropped that one in. As I was saying earlier in the game, Keogh has the fastball, curve, and the change, which is your standard assortment at this level.
That looked like the curveball there from him.
Kalinowski has it on 2 bounces, fires across to Carr, 2 down. Good defensive work that time by Kalinowski at second base. Brings up Dylan Driscoll. He was one of those who bounced it back to Keogh on the mound in the first inning, was retired. So it was strike 1 to Driscoll.
Two very different pitching styles we're seeing here today. Keogh works from a stretch the entire time with a nice closed stance after he gets a sign from the catcher. And then you get the Winthrop pitcher who stands square to the catcher the entire time and kind of works slower than Keogh does. He's smaller stature. So 2 different styles today.
Up a little bit high that time.
That looked pretty good.
Now, Keogh doesn't waste any time. This one's hit in the dirt, foul. Nice work by the home plate umpire, making the call immediately.
Always like that as a fielder, too, when your pitcher works quick, because, I mean, it can get, outfielders can get lonely out there. You can get a little complacent, lose track of, just the game in general. But when you're working, you got to stay on your toes.
Garrett working out of the stretch, as Jess just pointed out.
And it's pretty hot out here today, a little humid actually, even as the sun's going to start going down, so it can get hot out there too, and you don't want to be standing out there too long. Yeah, baking in the sun, right.
This one's hit to the shortstop. Nice play over to first by shortstop Drew Galley. 6-3, 1-2-3, top of the third, through 2.5. Marblehead by a run, 3-2. Bottom of the third inning. And it's, who is it, Spencer Carr? It is. Called out on strikes his first time up. He was aiming for you, Jess, on that one.
Yeah, if I had a glove, I would have caught it.
Thank goodness for the protection of the grandstand and the fence.
Now we get to see the Winthrop pitcher work again, and we've pointed out that their difference is he goes over the head, and Garrett Keogh has the huge the leg kick. So really, really different. It's always pretty fun to see everybody's different style, I think. Everybody's got what feels comfortable for them.
Jack Wallace. Looked like a curveball or some sort of a high change, maybe.
Yeah, that was off speed.
And Carr fouled it off to the left side.
So stunned probably by the off-speed pitch coming from that he hasn't seen yet. He was way late on it.
A little bit high, but right down the middle, it seemed. This one also fouled back to the left side.
Yeah, right back to the fastball. I think Carr wanted that one. Kind of smiled as he stepped out of the batter's box.
It's awfully difficult to lay off the high one. Got a piece of it, and it goes off the grandstand, and Matt Feely comes back to pick it up.
Yeah, when the ball's coming in like at eye level or chin level, it's when it looks the biggest. It looks good, but then you swing and you watch the bat go underneath it. It's not as fun then.
Wallace delivers. Carr, another foul ball. Spencer Carr, a junior, first baseman. Number 3 in the order. Says a lot about his production this year. He got hit. Leaned out of the way a little bit, but then he took the shot, and so he's hit by a pitch.
Did he lean out of the way or into that one? Because
it looked like he was leaning out with his rear end out, and
right, he might have.
Chest maybe moved in.
I think it hit his left thigh, so he might have stuck the knee out a little bit to catch it. Because both the catcher and pitcher turned right to the Winthrop coaches, like, "What was that? Like he didn't. How's that my fault?"
Hit by a pitch, and nevertheless on first base. This one's hit on the first pitch out into center field. Carr is going to drop, and Carr makes it to second easily as the throw comes in from center fielder David Kirby. But now a hit batsman in Carr, and Brzania gets a single, his second hit of the ball game. And there's runners at first and second.
So
nobody out, and it's Tassinari.
He started 2 for 2 today, went 3 for 3 in their last game against Salem with a double and an RBI. So Basania, like we've said before, he's been very, very productive towards the second half of the season, or towards the end of the season.
And he didn't wait long. He went on the first pitch, inside to Tassinari, ball 1. Yeah, that's why he's batting. Basania was batting in the 4th spot because of his success at the plate of late.
And I believe that's up a spot from the last time we covered a home game. I think I remember him wearing number 5, batting 5th.
Strike to Tassinari.
See what Josh can do here with 2 men on.
This one gets away from the catcher. The runners move up.
That was the hit and run, though, that they had on back in the 1st inning, I believe it was, and that where they had both the first and guy on first and second go, but this time Tassinari wasn't able to get a piece. I think they did it for Basania last time up, and he fouled it off.
So now Tassinari with 2 runners in scoring position with 1 ball and couldn't see the other one. 2 strikes.
Either way, a lot of room out between center and right.
In the dirt, gets away. Another run's going to score. That's going to be I'm going to call that one a pass ball.
I'm going to say that the Winthrop pitcher's a little intimidated by Tassinari's size up at the plate, because that's the second pass ball that Tassinari has received, and it's 2 runs for Marblehead off of both of them.
In the dirt, Feely had a glove on it, but it got underneath it, so that's why I'm going to give it to the catcher, or charge it against the catcher. Not that it makes it. Scoring is by no means official. This one's hit sharply into the gap. Chasing it down. A right fielder missed it. Di Benedito missed it. And trotting in from third base was Brezania. And on to second is Tassinari. Did he get a glove on that out there?
I can't tell from this distance, but it looked like he was there. I thought he was going to make the play, and he looked pretty confident going in, and the line he took looked like he was going to be able to make the play, and then the ball disappeared behind him.
John Caswell is saying he's looking at it through the.
I don't think it did. I think he whiffed on it.
Doesn't think he got a glove on it, so it's a double. And the batter is Harrison Engstrom, the catcher, senior.
That was a nice piece of hitting by Tassinari, as we're saying that there's room out there, that he took it the opposite way and was able to get the runner home.
3-run lead for Marblehead now. Engstrom goes after the first pitch and pounds the bat into the dirt.
I don't think he's happy with himself at all today. He wasn't happy with a few plays, the wild pitch that scored a run earlier. Yeah, he's fired up.
He's pounding the dirt. It's usually not a formula for success at the plate. He swings and bunts it right at the pitcher. They may double off Tassinari. They do. And another cause for Engstrom to be upset with himself.
And he does slam the helmet. He slammed the catcher's glove. He slammed the bat. He slammed the helmet. Look out. Don't get in Harrison Engstrom's path today.
So that'll do it for the 3rd inning, but Marblehead gets a couple of runs. Oh, no, excuse me.
2 outs.
2 outs. They doubled him off of second base for the 2nd out.
You know, and it's good coaching by Coach Tarasuik over at third base to call Engstrom over after seeing him slam the helmet like that. It's so discouraged. I mean, he's their leader. He's their captain. He's the guy behind the plate. He's calling the game for Marblehead. His head needs to be in it.
Kalinowski, junior second baseman, up now. He singled, scored a run back in the 2nd inning. Bases are empty after the double play. This one's hit on the ground over the pitcher's head. Second baseman comes in, feels it, and over to first baseman. They get him as Robert Fisher at second made a nice play, and then Spinazzola made another nice play at first base to dig it out. So that is the 3rd out. 2 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and it's 5-2 Marblehead.
National Grand Bank has been Marblehead's community bank for 180 years and is proud to support MHS Sports on MHTV. Together, we make things happen.
Top of the fourth inning, 3-run lead for Marblehead. And the batter, Zach Fisher, bounced back to the mound in the first. 5-3, or 5-2 for Marblehead. A couple of hits in the last inning to spark those runs. Fisher looks at a strike.
It was a great curveball there from Keogh. I like that Keogh's got ahead of most of the batters today. He's rarely fell behind, which has been real beneficial to him and his defense. Makes the guys swing.
Hit sharply on the ground to the third baseman. Takes a couple of steps, fires across, and retires Fisher easily. Nice play over there by Tom Rocket. For the first out here in the fourth. So as we said earlier in the game at the top, that Marblehead needs to win this game and tomorrow's game, the last two of their regular season schedule, to qualify for the postseason tournament. And they've got Winthrop today. They're ahead in the top of the fourth inning by 3 runs, 5-3. And then tomorrow, Gloucester comes to town, a team that they lost to earlier in the season.
But that's a game they got to win. Gloucester's in a 3-way tie with this Winthrop team here in Saugus in the NEC Small. And then you got Marblehead sitting third, and Swampscott and Danvers second and first, who have already qualified. So Marblehead has made it as tough on themselves as they possibly could have here.
Wallace hits it on the ground to Rocket, fields it on the first top, fires over to Carr. 5-3 for the second time.
They put themselves in a situation where they need to win 3 wins. They got the win against Salem on Monday. So they play Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Got to win all 3 of them. Salem was 2-12. Winthrop's 4-10 in conference. They just got to win these games. They're winnable games, and they got to get them if they want to keep playing.
Chris Zufanti, the designated hitter.
It's another nice curveball from Keogh. He didn't get the call, but it's in there. His pitch starts like right in line with the right-handed batters. Some of the ones that are brave enough to stand in there may be able to get a piece of it.
2 balls, no strikes, I think.
I've been watching Garrett pitch the last few pitches. He does an extra kick with his foot like that, I believe, when he throws his curveball. I don't know if it's only when he throws his curveball, but he doesn't do it every time that he throws. Sometimes he keeps the leg in, sometimes he kicks his foot out. I think there's a nice strike, but the less movement you have there as a pitcher, the more accurate your throw is going to be.
And if it's a tell that someone can pick up on.
Yeah. I don't play much poker, but you could be giving this one away.
He got a piece of that one, fouled it into the dirt. Engstrom is down on one knee and slow to get back. Umpire calling the coach over to talk to Harrison Engstrom, and back to cleaning off the plate as Coach Tarasuik comes over and keeps his head down and sees how his catcher's doing.
I don't know where that one got him. I don't know if it hit him in the hand. He's not really shaking anything off. Maybe in the thigh.
Catchers take a beating, there's no doubt about that.
Those sting, yeah. Oh, yeah.
3-1 or 3-2? I couldn't see the right-hand signal. This one's hit foul down the right field line.
It's definitely 3-2 now.
Yeah.
I think it was before then. We had a foul back towards us, and then that one off of Engstrom.
So Zufanti now with a 3-2 count. 2 down in the top of the fourth inning. Time called.
Engstrom's only run a few counts full so far today.
Ball ended up in fair territory in deep right field, and that's why they called time right here. So they were retrieving it and bringing it back. Get play going again.
All right.
One of the Marblehead players was charged with running out there and picking it up. Catches the corner, called out on strikes, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Keogh in the fourth. 3.5 now. 5-2, Marblehead. Bottom of the fourth inning coming up as Drew Galley, sophomore shortstop, bats from the left side. Stands in against Jack Wallace. His team up by 3, 5-2. Takes strike one from Wallace. Defensive substitution for Winthrop. Joe Fabiano out in right field, replacing DiBenedetto. Swing and a miss, strike 2 on Galley. Inside for a ball, so Coach DeMarco didn't waste much time after DiBenedetto had a little trouble out there and right.
Yeah, he missed that line drive last inning, caused the run to score, and that's your day.
Down swinging goes Galley in the to lead off the fourth.
That's what we call a short leash.
Well, he has a speaking of short, he's got a short bench. He's only got 2 substitutes. And now it's the only one left is Nick DeCiccio. Jeff Stern, center fielder. I think this is Stern, 24, yep. Takes ball 1. Struck out swinging in the second inning.
Stern's a solid center fielder. I don't see much action out there, but when you do, or when he does, he usually is able to make the play. He's got a strong arm, too.
Strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, pulled his hands back on that one. Got to look to hit that one, turn on it.
Low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. Jeff Stern at the plate, junior center fielder. 0 for 1 so far today. Takes the ball inside and gets on base with a walk.
Nice patience there by Stern. He winds up at first.
Back to the top of the order. Jim McCarthy, right fielder. Center fielder's shading him a little bit to left, and the right fielder is shading him left as well.
But still a lot of room between the two of them.
Yeah, if you hit it hard on the line, it's impossible for the outfielders to get to it. It's one of the few places. There's the place on the field where the batters have the advantage. There goes the runner. This one's hit in the air. And center fielder hauls it in. Hustling back to first is Stern as McCarthy flies out to center. Catcher's made out there by Kirby. And there are 2 down, and Thomas Rocket, sophomore third baseman, comes to the plate.
That one was hit right to Kirby. Took 1 step back, 1 step in. Done deal.
So Stern is at first. 2 down. As Jess pointed out earlier, a slow move to first. It keeps the runner in check, but not much of a chance to get him.
It's so tough for a right-handed pitcher. I mean, it really is. To get the turn, once you step off, it's a total give that you're going over to first. So, I mean, as a lefty, when you can just stand and fire over, much, much easier.
Tom Rocket was hit by a pitch in the first inning and scored a run. Stern about 3 steps off first. This one's hit over the first baseman's head, but curves foul. Yeah, probably wasn't over his head when he went by first. It was foul by a few yards.
When Rocket swung at that, his first step, instead of back towards the pitcher, was towards third base, and that's the reason he opened himself up and got it foul. It's got to stay square.
There goes the runner. No throw from Feely behind the plate.
Do you blame him? I mean, third straight pitch where the pitcher hasn't even looked over to first base since he threw over. Maybe second straight pitch, but paid him no attention. No throw, no coverage.
Stern takes advantage of it. Now he's leading off of second base. This one's hit in the air towards right field. Fabiano's going back and can't catch up to it. He's going to score a run. Rounding first and on to second, heading for third.
Still hasn't thrown it in yet.
Is Rocket. Rocket's going to be in, standing at third. It might have been close if he even kept on going, but he knocked in a run. Gives Marblehead another insurance run, and they're leading it now 6-2.
I don't think Rocket knew how far away the ball still was when he got to third base, because if he was running hard enough, he would have scored easily. Fabiano, the new right field replacement, played it up on the hill and then ran it down the hill before throwing it even to the cutoff man.
So you had maybe a conservative coach at third with the coach of the team was playing the third base manager.
Yeah, possibly. You want to just conserve the lead. No need to rush it. I would have caught that one too.
Spencer Carr, first baseman, hit by a pitch and scored a run on a pass ball in the third inning, called out on strikes in the first. 0 for 1, has a runner at third base, Thomas Rocket. Down low. 1-1 the count to Spencer Carr here in the fourth inning. Wallace might be getting a little fatigued, maybe.
Yeah, he's worked some long innings, and he's seen the ball get hit into the outfield a lot, and drop out there, which he doesn't like to see. It can get a little discouraging.
This one's carved foul and out behind the Winthrop bench to the left side. So a runner at third, a run in on the strength of the triple by Rocket. He just hammered it out to the hill in right field.
He stepped toward third on that swing too, but he kept that one fair, and he actually put a pretty good piece of hitting on it there, piece of metal. I was gonna say piece of wood, but
gave it a ride, and it was up the hill.
He did.
And Fabiano, as you mentioned, just couldn't catch up to it. It was over his head before he knew it.
And the hill confuses people too. You don't see it very often.
Hit on the ground to the shortstop, fires across to first, makes the play. That'll do it for the fourth inning. But Marblehead picks up a run and now leads it 6-2. We'd like to thank the National Grand Bank for being our community partner in bringing you MHS Sports on MHTV.
Have you ever found yourself in the shoes of this young man? On your way to the gym, in a rush, leaving your valuables behind in an unlocked locker? Don't find out the hard way. The only successful way of keeping others away from your valuables is simply to use a lock.
What? Where's my phone and watch?
In 2012, the number of burglaries committed in Marblehead was up 44% from 2011. The preceding message was produced by the Marblehead School Department in conjunction with the Marblehead Police Department.
Top of the fifth inning, David Kirby steps to the plate, facing Garrett Keogh, has gone all the way, has a 6-2 lead. In the top of the fifth inning, Kirby looks at strike one. So a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings in the third and the fourth for Keogh. Getting good defensive work behind him and pitching well, efficiently, quickly, and in command. In fact, he's had 3 1, 2, 3 innings, the first, the third, and the fourth.
Yeah, he's pitched really well, and it starts with getting ahead of the batters, and does so again here, even though that one's the ball. He's had great command on his curveball. I haven't seen much change up. I don't know if he really takes that much off of it, but you can definitely tell when the curve's coming. We can't tell if he's giving it away yet, but...
Hit on the ground. It's to the left side of the pitcher. Shortstop fields it over to first. Safe as Galley's throw. Is it not in time, or did it pull him off? Or
it was just not in time. Galley made a nice play. I mean, he charged and everything, but the ball wasn't hit that hard, and it looks like Kirby has better speed than he appears to, being such a big guy, and he got down there pretty quick. Probably beat it out by a step or two.
Matt Feely grounded back to the pitcher. His only time at the plate today.
Double play depth for the infielders from Marblehead.
One double play in the ball game. It was when Engstrom tried the bunt and popped it right back to the pitcher, and they doubled a runner off of second base. They fire across to first as Keogh thought he had a chance there to get Kirby.
Kirby took his lead before Garrett even stepped on the mound. This way to be alert.
Back to Kirby, looking away. Galley's throw not in time. Oh, got him at first. I thought it was not in time. 6-3, so the runner advances to second.
Yeah, that did hit off Keogh's glove. Galley was able to stay with it even off the deflection and make a pretty nice throw over to first. I mean, I thought he was safe too. If we saw the same thing, Ump must have seen something that we didn't.
Well, I've never umpired a baseball game, so
I've got one. I've got one under my belt.
Yeah.
And the call at first is now, I would say, one of the toughest plays I've ever been a part of. Even when it's not close, it looks close.
Luigi Spinazzola, the 8th batter in the order, up. 0-1 the count. Out at second is Kirby, who led off with an infield single. Keogh delivers. This one's hit sharply. The shortstop picks it up, fires across. Galley makes the play. 6-3. 2 down. Runner advances. That's Kirby. Advances to third, and it's Robert Fisher.
A nice play by Galley. Made sure he got that one. Couple nice plays this inning by him.
He's getting his work in this inning.
Yeah, it was Kalinowski a couple innings ago. It's been Keogh kind of all day coming off the mound. Now they're getting Galley involved.
Fisher looks at ball 1. He's 0 for 1. Grounded to second base.
If we could pull up a spray chart and see a lot of balls hit right back up the middle for Winthrop today.
One ball, one strike. Runner takes a few steps off of third base. Batter was fooled.
Badly. Nice pitch.
1-2.
Kirby trying to distract a little at third. Doesn't
again,
work.
Yeah, again, the batter just didn't know what was going on. Goes down swinging. And through 4.5. 6-2 Marblehead. Bottom of the 5th inning for Marblehead, up by 4 runs, and up to the plate comes left fielder Drew Bazania. He's got 2 hits in 2 appearances, scored a run in the 3rd. Wallace delivers. First pitch swinging is Bazania, fouls it off, straight back and over the grandstand roof. The National Historic Grandstand.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're honored to be sitting in it.
I'm relieved to be sitting in it with this fence, this steel fence in front of me.
And it's nice and cool in here.
It is. It has its ups and downs, and on the cold days it's colder in here, but on the hot days it's cooler. So it's cooler all around. Just depends on what else is going on. Wallace delivers away for a ball. It's been a good day at the plate for Brzania, the left fielder, as he's 2 for 2, batting out of the 4th spot.
The newly positioned cleanup hitter for Marblehead.
I think he might have been the fourth batter the last game we did. I was looking back. 2 and 2.
I could be mistaken. It wouldn't be the first time.
Well, 4th or 5th. It's still that's where you put your.
That's right. And him and Carr have had a nice couple games. There's a strikeout by him, but they've both got a couple game hitting streaks going.
One down in the bottom of the 5th, and Josh Tassinari comes to the plate.
First time Tassinari's been at the plate today without anybody wave home from third.
He doubled in the 3rd and was hit a double to right center, and then was doubled off of second base on the bunt that was caught. This is hit straight away center, and having a little bit of an adventure out there was David Kirby, but he finally gets under it and retires Tassinari.
With the wind blowing left to right out there, and started in line with the foul pole. And
yeah, he was dancing back and forth there for a moment.
Yeah, he went about 20 yards, 30 yards to his left after all said and done.
So it's Harrison Engstrom now, 0 for 2, having a good day behind the plate, working with Garrett Keogh. A little bit of a frustration batting, but that can all be straightened out with a base hit right here.
He's calmed down over the last 2 innings after Coach Tarasuak had a word with him. I'm sure he said, you are our leader. They're going to thrive off of your energy, so keep it positive.
Looks at a strike. He's got 0-2 now against him. 2 down, bottom of the 5th inning. Jack Wallace for Winthrop has gone all the way, momentarily steps off the rubber. Now he's getting set again. And Garrett Keogh has gone all the way for Marblehead. But Marblehead holds a 4-run lead, 6-2. As they've scored in the first 4 innings, at least 1 run. 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, in danger of putting up a 0 in this inning with 2 down and nobody on.
Wallace looked at his first baseman like, if he swings and misses, be ready for a throw down, because I'm all over the place right now.
Yeah.
He's got to be getting tired.
Up high, a little bit, didn't seem like he had a lot of velocity with that one. High and tight.
Yeah, his stuff's been slowing down over the last couple innings, but he doesn't throw nearly as hard as Keogh does, so it's a change of pace for us, I think, every inning.
Another one up high. Do they have anybody warming over there? They don't have a lot of options with just two subs, and they came with just 2 subs, and they've used one of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of sounds like, but I don't know who he'd be playing catch with.
Called strike 3, and Marblehead goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. At the end of 5, Marblehead by 4, 6-2.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Top of the 6th inning. Marblehead by 4, 6-2. Back to the top of the order for the Winthrop Vikings. Mike Rich, Dylan Driscoll, and Zach Fisher. Garrett Keogh's gone all the way for Marblehead. Catches the corner with strike 1 against Rich. Rich is 0 for 2, grounded to second and struck out swinging.
So Harrison Engstrom said something to the umpire, home plate umpire, after he went down on strikes to end the last inning, and it was about an outside pitch, a little bit too outside, Harrison thought. So let's see if that opens up the outside plate, part of the plate here for Garrett Keogh in this inning. That one almost popped up under Keogh's mask. I'm sorry, under Engstrom's mask. He's taking a couple off the face today.
Sometimes those comments have a way of working in the opposite direction.
Well, they do. And with his, I'm sure the umpire has seen his frustration all day, so.
Although, this one's popped in the air, and it's playable, maybe trouble. Second baseman comes over, makes the grab. Nice play by Kalinowski.
Great play.
Yeah. That was a right fielder, the car from first base, and Kalinowski had the best look at it.
Yeah, a lot of the time in the big leagues, that's a second baseman's ball, like all the way, even though it's such a far run for him. But, I mean, that Kalinowski, great speed to get over there and play that while falling down.
Nice defensive play. I was going to say that over the years that I've covered high school sports and all the different sports that I've watched and called, grounder to Galley at short, fires across to Carr, 2 down. I have been continually impressed by the quality of the officials, not only as officials in all the sports, but also as teachers of and having absolutely the right attitude for dealing with young men and women.
Yeah, you have to. And these guys love what they do. You have to understand, they're not out here for the money, you know what I mean? They love being a part of a baseball game. It doesn't matter what level it is. It means something to them, and they're gonna do their best, just like the players are gonna play their hardest.
Zach Fisher, the batter.
And the teaching part comes hand in hand. They don't have a lot to say, but when they do say something, you should listen. So they're probably trying to help you out.
Well, they're also not likely to get hot under the collar when they see a frustrated high school athlete.
Of course not.
Say, that was outside, they're not going to.
Because before they were wearing the blue uniforms, they were wearing probably a uniform of a different color, playing and giving some umpires a hard time. They remember what it was like.
2 down now to Zach Fisher here in the top of the 6th inning. High school baseball goes 7 innings. Low and away. Fisher is 0 for 2. Grounded to third, grounded back to the pitcher.
I feel like Keogh struggled a little bit with the outside pitch today. His curveball's working the inside corner. May want to stay around there.
No swing.
That's the correct call, I believe. Didn't look like he turned the wrists over.
Is that 1 and 2?
He puts it up so quick.
Yeah, hard to tell. Defensive swing, and it didn't work. Strike 3. 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. Nice inning for Garrett Keogh. Marblehead comes to bat in the bottom of the 6th, leading it by 4. Bottom of the 6th inning for the Magicians. Looking to pick up their 8th win of the season. They need this one and the next one. Last 2 games on the regular season schedule. They need them both to qualify for the postseason. They lead it by 4 right now in the bottom of the 6th inning with 1 more inning to go. Jack Wallace has gone all the way for Winthrop. Tom Kalinowski looks at ball 1, singled and scored, and grounded to second. And made a great play defensively in the last inning, running all the way to the foul line and snagging that pop-up.
He did. He's had a great game from both sides of the ball in the field. He's made great plays, and he got the inning started a couple innings ago. He's stolen some bases. He scored runs. Everything that Coach Tarasuak wants from his second baseman.
Batting out of the 7th spot in the order, he's had a real impact on the game. Hits another foul ball over the Winthrop bench and out of play.
For those who are fans of Marblehead sports, they'll know that Tim is a great hockey player as well, one of the best in the conference during the winter time. I don't know what happened there.
Overran it. It looked like Mike Rich, the third baseman, was.
Is that what happened? It kind of watched it drop. I thought he was going to.
It looked like he overran it and then couldn't get back to it.
Yeah.
So Kalinowski given another life. Wallace set to deliver. Off speed, right back at the pitcher, off his glove. Third baseman comes in, or a shortstop comes in, picks it up, and that was Dylan Driscoll firing across to get Kalinowski.
Nice play there by Driscoll. He kind of launched himself off the bag to get a little rise on that. Made a nice play and able to make a controlled throw over to first. The outfield had Kalinowski. They were shading him way left from the last ball he had hit out there, and that one almost got through into the gap.
Drew Galley swings and fouls off the first pitch over to the Marblehead bench. 0 for 2 today for the shortstop. Was that a good defensive game?
You're not going to see it on camera, but Teddy York, nice play over there by the bench on that pop-up.
Barehanded as well.
He did.
Oh, and 2. Oh, wait a minute. This is Aiden Caldwell. His first appearance. Takes a ball. He bats for Galley here in the 7th, or the 6th inning. His first trip to the plate.
It's good to see Aiden getting some action. Drew Galley had a nice game out in the field. Didn't produce much from the plate today, but we'll give Aiden a shot and see what he can do.
Caldwell's a senior. So Caldwell goes down on strikes for the second out.
At least he's up there swinging.
Jeff Stern scheduled to bat. It looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter. It'll be Jake Stead. Nice move by the coaching staff. Get the guys who've been on the bench so far today's game, get them into a little bit of the action.
That's right, and they don't have to play the field. Right, they don't have to sub in the field.
Correct. That's a good rule at the high school level. It means that a lot of these, without that rule, these guys wouldn't see any action. Not just these guys specifically, but
right, all teams subs.
All teams, the guys that are, except for the 9 that are on the field.
I'm not sure if Winthrop's team has like some injuries or whatnot, but that may be why they don't carry that many, because they just don't want to use their subs. They got 10 or 11 players that are pretty solid baseball players, and they just go with those guys.
I got to believe there's a couple of guys out injured or
you'd think, though.
Something, yeah.
12 short to carry.
So Jack Wallace delivers. Up high to Jake Stead.
Wallace actually seems like he's picked up a little speed on his fastball here this inning, or at least the last couple pitches. Maybe just throwing his heart out now, you know. What do you get to lose? And all 3 set pitches for balls to load the count.
Full count, 3-2 to Stead. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th. Wallace, who's gone all the way for Winthrop, delivers, and it's ball 4. Stead reaches base.
Lost him. Had him down 0-2. 4 straight balls.
Back to the top of the order. McCarthy walked, singled, and flied to center. Scored a run on a wild pitch in the first. Comes to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs and a runner at first in Jake Stead. Down low for a ball.
And outfield shading away, or center fielder shading away towards left field, opening things up out there between himself and the right fielder.
Had a lot of room out in straightaway center to right field, to right center. Their scouting report says that McCarthy, left-handed batter, will hit it to left and left center. In the dirt, nice stop by Feely.
McCarthy's very relaxed at the plate, keeps his hands kind of low and just swings from the shoulder instead of cocking the bat back before he swings like a lot of guys do nowadays. Just straight through.
Three and two now. I'm guessing. There goes the runner. McCarthy swings and fouls it back off to the left side and out of play, well behind the Winthrop bench. Well, it's definitely 3 and 2 now.
And Stead has pretty good speed for being a tall guy.
He got off quickly.
Yeah, I think Wallace is kind of done paying attention to his runners at first base as he looks over. And probably will throw over.
There goes Stead again. Pitches inside for ball 4. So 2 walks after 2 outs. And there's runners at first and second.
And here comes Winthrop coach. Have a conversation with his pitcher. You'd have to think he's going to try to get him to finish it out.
Batter due up is Thomas Rocket. He's walking down to third base to talk to Coach Tarasuic. Rocket was hit by a pitch in the first and scored a run. Tripled in the fourth and was left stranded at third base.
That was the triple he probably could have scored on, too.
Yeah, that was the one that went up the hill in right field, and
right.
Fabiano had a difficult time fielding it out there. And as you pointed out, he actually ran down the hill before he made the throw in, and that really gave Rocket an opportunity. But
I don't think
Coach Tarasuic, I guess, just thought that let's be conservative here.
And I don't think Rocket was aware. Maybe he might have made the decision on his own had he known where the ball was. But you don't want to do that all the time.
I don't think if you run through a stop sign from the coach.
Never good running through any stop sign.
So Rocket now comes to the plate. He's got a triple in his last time up. Fabiano's out there deep in right field.
Maybe he should play on the hill.
A lot of these hitters swing inside out, go opposite field, take advantage of all the opportunities, and they're shading him to right.
I think that comes down to mechanics sometimes too, where the way they step. Drop their hands a little bit. But if it works, it's going to work at this level.
Big gap between the center fielder and the left fielder. 2 down, 2 on. Couple of walks from Wallace here after 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Marblehead up by 4 runs. Sure they'd like to get a few more. This one's hit back at the pitcher and going to bounce over second base. And the shortstop just picks up the ball and kneels on second base to force McCarthy. And that'll do it. After 6, it's Marblehead 6 and Winthrop 2. So again, we'd like to thank the National Grand Bank for being our community partner in bringing you MHS Sports on MHTV. Chris Conley and Jess Burton. We've got another half inning maybe, if Marblehead can do the trick here and Keogh back out on the mound. I thought initially I thought it was going to be a breezy kind of day. It seemed like it was windy, but the wind really is gentle. Continues to just sort of blow. Now it's picking up a little bit as soon as I say that. It's blowing from left to right. If we can take a look at the flag out there, and you see it now, it seems like it's stretching out pretty good.
Yeah.
It had been just sort of gently waving there. When I said when I first started saying the breeze is gentle, it was gentle, and now it's
whipping a little bit.
It's picking up a little bit, but it really hasn't been much of a factor, I don't think, in today's baseball game, and it's an important game for Marblehead, and as this game and the next game tomorrow afternoon, last two of their regular season schedule. If they win them both, they're in line to pick up a victory here. Last ups for Winthrop as they come to bat in the top of the seventh inning, trailing it by 4 runs. Then they'll have Gloucester tomorrow, but I'm sure they don't want to get ahead of themselves and secure this win first and let tomorrow take care of itself.
That's right. They need 2 wins to get in the tournament. Like you said, they're in line for this one here. If they can get 3 more outs, Keogh has pitched a great game so far. He's been dominant from the mound. Winthrop hasn't hit many balls past the infield. Here we go.
Strike 1 to the pitcher, Jack Wallace, who, like Keogh, has gone all the way. Wallace is 4th man in the order, doubled and scored in the 2nd inning. Grounded to 3rd in the 4th. Looks at a ball outside.
Curveball got away from Garrett a little bit there. Try to work back across the inside half of the plate with that pitch.
Hit again to the 3rd baseman. Rocket up with it over to 1st. Spencer Carr makes the play over there, and there's 1 down.
Solid play there by Tommy Rocket at 3rd. Really, really nice gather and throw over. Marblehead 2 outs away.
Well, on that type of a play, the 3rd baseman really has to know. He has to take charge.
He has to know that he can get the guy at 1st.
Yeah, he can take it away from the shortstop because he's closer.
Right. Sometimes it can be costly, especially going that direction. It's tough.
Chris Zufanti, the designated hitter at the plate with 1 down, nobody on. Marblehead in charge with a 6-2 lead right now. Hit into the dirt, right around home plate, foul ball.
Yeah, he fouled that one off his knee. See him jumping around a little bit after that one. I've always thought that ankle guard that a lot of guys wear is a really good idea. Those don't feel good off the top of the foot, off the ankle bone.
Foul ball into left field.
Winthrop wanted it fair. A couple of oohs, ahs from the crowd.
It was close, but the call was definitive.
Yeah. Very confident call from the umpire.
Garrett Keogh looking to work now to Zufanti.
Another one.
Hits himself off the foot
off
again.
The other foot.
You could hear that. Oh.
Have they gone to prom yet? Not gone to prom yet? He's going to have trouble dancing. Now they're going to check on him. That one looked harder than the first one.
Yeah, talking to one of the assistant coaches. One out, nobody on. Top of the 7th inning. Chris Zufanti at the plate. He's fouled the ball off of himself a couple of times.
So we're sure there's 2 strikes.
Exactly. Have both of them been off the right leg?
Left leg, then right leg. Left knee off the ground, then right foot, no ground.
This one's fouled over by the basketball court. Just a beautiful day.
It is a great night here in Marblehead.
Shadow's getting a little bit long. This one's fouled in the air,
Nope.
and
yeah.
Carr comes down the line, makes the catch for the second out.
I thought that one might stay fair, but just a step foul. Very routine for number 14 over there at first base, Spencer Carr.
2 down. David Kirby comes to the plate. Singled in his last time up. And reached on a fielder's choice in the second inning. And then stole a base and scored on a wild pitch eventually.
He's probably been one of the more effective players at the plate.
Back to Keogh, fields it, fires it to first base and retires the side and wins the baseball game. Marblehead picks up the all-important victory. They move now to 8-7 in the league and 9-11 overall. Winthrop drops to 7-13 overall, and Keogh goes the distance, picks up the victory, his 4th of the season. He's 4-1, and a good effort all the way around, a real good team victory, Jess.
That was great by Marblehead. Great game today. The Keogh starts it with a ground out, finishes it with a ground out, and it was dominant in between. A really, really good showing for Marblehead in a game that they had to have.
They got one more coming up. That'll be Friday afternoon. It'll probably be played before you see this. But we'd like to thank the National Grand Bank once again for being our community partner in bringing you MHS Sports on MHTV. Once again, the final score, Marblehead 6, Winthrop 2. For all of us here at MHTV Sports, Jess Burton, John Caswell, I'm Chris Conley, saying thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
National Grand Bank has been Marblehead's community bank for 180 years and is proud to support MHS Sports on MHTV. Together, we make things happen.